You're bad at marketing yourself and it's holding you back. Today we're talking about the hidden cost of being modest. My dry bar comedy special came out recently, and it's a project I'm incredibly proud of. One I poured my heart and humor into and spent nearly a year preparing for, which you can check out in my video reflecting on my comedy special taping. And by many accounts, it's good. I mean, take a look for yourself. I was like the Jay-Z of bad dating. You're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. It took me 99 dates, but I found the one. I think that my main issue is that, to me, I just consider emotions as just data. Which I have learned is the wrong thing to say to someone who is crying. Said that to date number 6, and she was like, really? Emotions are just data? Well, we're no longer dating. I remember date number 13. She told me, she was like, I know it's a little soon, but Drew, I think I'm finally ready to tell you that I love you. And I didn't know how to respond, so I was like, I appreciate the sentiment. Yeah, that's wrong. If anyone ever tells you I love you, the only thing they're really looking for is I love you too. Thought I'd figured it out. Date number 25. She was like, Drew, I think I'm ready to finally tell you I love you. And so I was like, I love you as well. Fist bump? And then she was like, how much? And I was like, what? Because I didn't know there could be follow-up questions. And yet, I've hardly told anyone about it. Yes, I mentioned it to Pretzel, my wife, of course, and I did tell my mom, but that's about it. In fact, Pretzel has shared it with way more people than I have. Why? Why haven't I shared it more broadly? And that's not a question for you, it's one that I've been wrestling with myself recently, but maybe you have that same challenge. You could call it modesty, but that's just a nice way of saying that I hate talking about myself. Okay, that's only partially true. I love talking about myself on stage. I mean, the entire comedy special is about how I dated my way to meeting Pretzel. But I hate promoting things that I've done. And I know I'm not the only one. I mean, maybe you're the same way. I mean, it's certainly true for many of my coaching clients. My fellow engineers, project managers, and tech people constantly push back when I tell them they need to talk about themselves or their work more. They say things like, why would the audience even care about me? Or, I wasn't the only one that worked on the project. Or, can't I just focus on actually doing good work? And I totally get it. That's how I felt when I started at Procter Gamble, where I worked as an engineer. I always believed that being good at what you do should be enough. After all, that's how it typically works in school. I mean, you study hard, get good grades, have a high GPA, get called a nerd by your friends, and then you get an academic scholarship and you go on to success, blah, 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 blah. Hard work equals success. But that's not how it works in the corporate world. Whether you're working at a big company, a small business, or building your own thing, you not only have to excel at what you do, but also be proud enough to share it broadly. If you build it, they will come is only true in the movie Field of Dreams, not in real life. I eventually learned that at P&G, but I still haven't quite figured it out for my business humor that works. So what did I do before, and can that apply now? Well, let's see. Also, quick note, I really thought this model that I'm about to share with you was considered proprietary, which is why I haven't really talked about it much before. But I did a quick Google search, and other people have talked about it and even written a book. So if there are any P&G lawyers out there, I totally didn't steal this from my job. I got it from this post. Okay, so what is P&G's method for self-promotion that isn't awful? It's called the PI model: performance, image, and exposure. First up is your performance, because yes, you still have to be good at what you do. You don't want to be someone who is all talk and no walk. And luckily, based on the comments on some of my work, it seems like people do at least enjoy what I do. In fact, if you're liking this video right now, go ahead and like and subscribe. And I'm guessing that's true for many of you as well. By virtue of watching this video, I'm just going to assume that you're in a similar spot, that you're good at the nuts and bolts of your job, which is a great start because performance, at least to me, is the biggest piece of the pie, but it's not the only piece. Next up is your image. This is basically your reputation, how you're perceived by others. You can't control your image, but you can try to craft it, to mold it, to at least nudge it along in the right direction. Your image is primarily driven by your behaviors, how you dress, how you express, and how you impress. How do you dress? Do you present yourself in a professional way, both in terms of attire, but also in terms of attitude? Or are you too cool for school, or wearing anything else other than a hoodie? Next is how you express. Are you eloquent, prepared, focused when you present yourself? Or do you ramble, stumble, or undersell your own ideas or contributions?
And finally, how you impress. What makes you stand out from everyone else? Do you have an incredible attention to detail or a positive sense of humor? Because yes, being fun to be around is simply a great way to improve your image. Or are you always annoyed or difficult to work with? All of these things can affect your image. Personally, I try to create a brand of being a cool-ish nerd, because I am someone who is definitely a nerd, and that means I get stuff done. But I also try to be fun to work with. And finally, exposure. This last one is the hardest one for us introverts because it means putting yourself out there. Not just in terms of talking about yourself, but also in terms of intentionally seeking out opportunities to introduce your work to more people. That means speaking up in meetings, volunteering to present, or posting to LinkedIn about something you've achieved. Believe it or not, this is a constant struggle for me. Some of you might be thinking that is a complete lie. You post on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook every single day. Well, can I tell you a secret? My team does that. They either take clips of my speaking or stand-up, or about once a month I record a bunch of videos that they edit together, and I even change shirts so it's not as obvious that it's all done at once, and it's a bit embarrassing, really. And in fact, other speakers and business coaches have told me that I should be doing more. I should be posting to Instagram stories every time I land in a new city for an event, or I should be posting testimonials for my coaching clients to show you that I get results when you work with me. I should, actually promote the things that we offer every now and then. Case in point, we were reviewing our KPIs earlier this month, and my COO noticed an uptick in book sales. She was like, "Why do you think it increased?" I was like, "I don't know. I did link to the book in one of my newsletters. Could that be it?" She was like, "You think?" The reality is that if you're bad at self-promoting, you gotta get over yourself. In today's increasingly competitive, ever-distracted world, being too modest will hurt you. Poor self-marketing can hinder your career progression, no matter how skilled or talented you are. Marketing yourself isn't about being boastful or egotistical. It's about making sure that the right people know what you're capable of. It's about giving your work the spotlight it deserves so it can open the doors you've worked hard to earn. So here's my challenge to you, and a little bit to myself. Share something you're proud of this week. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be everywhere, but it has to be somewhere. Whether it's a quick LinkedIn post, to chat with your manager, or just telling a friend about something you've accomplished, start practicing this skill of marketing yourself. At a minimum, feel free to start with me. Leave a comment below of something that you're proud of. For me, I'm thrilled to share that my Dry Bar comedy special is now out, and I'd love for you to check it out. Your career deserves a voice. Your accomplishments deserve a voice. What you are capable of deserves a voice, and you're the only one who's going to speak for it. So don't let modesty hold you back. Thanks for watching.